Okay, hello everybody, and welcome to episode 31 of my Gateway Experience. Thank you so much for tuning in. The purpose of these videos is to document my journey through the Monroe Institute's Gateway Experience. The Gateway Experience is a series of 6 waves with 6 tapes in each wave, and I am currently on the first wave and I am on the fifth tape of the first wave. It is called Exploration Sleep, and the first wave is called Discovery. The next one coming up is called Threshold. And so, if you haven't seen any of my other videos, go ahead and check those out because I will be referencing pretty much everything we've talked about so far today in this video, as I usually do. So, this experience builds upon itself. It's kind of like a classroom style, but it's really more about documenting. I'm not really here to teach anybody as I am learning myself. So let's get right into it. Right now it is September 24th, 2022. It's 9:13 a.m. And yesterday I went to sleep at like 1, and then I woke up at 7:33 this morning. So pretty cool. Um, when I did the experience, the things that I'm kind of realizing and that I want to talk about today is like last night when I did the entire experience, I didn't lose awareness for a single time. And then same thing this morning, I didn't lose awareness a single time. I was always fully awake and alert and aware in my brain. Obviously, my body's a different matter as I couldn't really feel my body at all. So, um, today, after I woke up, I did my morning routine, and then I also went ahead and did that exploration of sleep for the eighth time. So I've only got 2 more times or 2 more days doing it. And the way that I did it this morning, I went into my pre-preparation process. And after that, I went into my rebound and also my focus 10. And as I was in my focus 10, I did my best to just let go of any and all expectations. And well, something that happened is last night I was doing like an interview with these people, and it went fine. I just don't want to work with them, and I'm being very selective with the people that I do work with because it has to be a win-win and it has to benefit both parties and it has to be a good dynamic in the relationship. Where, like, for example, with my videos, if you want, you can always go back and you don't have to watch every single video. You don't have to start at one. You can just start at this video. You can go back to the one before. I'm just letting you know that it's not going to be necessarily the best for the experience. Whereas when somebody is forcing you to go step by step without giving you the freedom and they're keeping all of the control, that's where I don't want to have anything to do with those people. So yeah, I like freedom. I'm all about sovereignty, and it's something that I've been studying recently as well. I don't necessarily want to talk too much about that in these videos, but what I do want to say is that awareness and consciousness is a lot like when we go on a run or when we first start running. It's like an endurance race, right? So when we first go on a run, maybe the first time we go, if we haven't done it for a long time, we might run a mile. Sometimes we might even run less than a mile. We might feel like, hey, I can't even make it to a mile, so I'm kind of getting tired. My lungs are just too much of that lactic acid in my muscles, and my lungs can't take it. I just need to, my mind is telling me that, hey, I'm going to die or something if I keep doing this, so I need to go back home. And that's a lot like expanding your awareness because when we go the first time, we might not go as far as we want, but then if we go again and we keep that as our goal, then we can go and then reach that destination. And then eventually we're running a mile, we're running 2 miles, we're running 3 miles, 4 miles. If you keep up with it and you're consistent with it. I want to say that's very similar to my experience with this tape with exploration sleep, as I kept losing awareness and I kept kind of falling asleep. And the reason why I'm not anymore now, in these past few times that I did the tape, I feel like is because I built up a tolerance. I built up a tolerance and also a higher level awareness for the different states of consciousness, kind of like I touched on yesterday's video. And I think that's part of the process of this tape as well. He says that it's to experience and remember the process of remembering who we are, what we are, that we all go through when we go to a state of total sleep. And I think that's very powerful because as I am becoming aware of when I'm going to sleep and that feeling that is associated with going to sleep, I can remain aware. And kind of like when I'm going on a run and that first time that lactic acid is too powerful, so I go back home. The second time, the third time, the fifth time, that lactic acid, I no longer even feel it. Now I'm on a high. I'm on a runner's high because of the different chemicals that are being produced in my body. And I think that's very similar to what's going on with this experience. And I'm becoming more aware of the subtleties of those quote unquote, like melatonin is one of them, and these other types of things that are produced in our brain and in our body. And just becoming aware of them and being able to harness them and to control, like, hey, if I want to go into a deeper sleep, I can go into a deeper sleep. And that's part of the practice as well. He tells us, like, hey, from now on, if you ever want to go into a complete state of total sleep, you can just start counting from 1 to 20 very slowly. And I think that's very powerful. If I want to wake up, I just say 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Like being able to have control and full mastery of oneself is the most powerful thing I think there is, because mastering others is strength, but mastering yourself makes you fearless. It makes you aware of the illusion of fear that contracts consciousness, and love expands that consciousness and those higher states of awareness that we're practicing, loving ourselves through these tapes. And so that's what I want to say about this experience. I didn't necessarily go out of body, and I think that's okay. I think that's fine. I think that's normal. There's nothing wrong with that, and I think that this step in the process is not to necessarily achieve that. I think this is just to become aware and to remember, and just to kind of prepare ourselves to be able to do that later on, to be able to let go and to just enjoy the experience. But also to have discernment, to know, like, hey, you know, when is it that I'm falling asleep? When is it that I'm waking up? Do I want to fall asleep right now? Do I want to stay awake? What do I want to do personally? And so, yeah, I want to encourage anybody that's watching this to go through this journey. It has been incredible, and I have learned a lot about myself and others, because to know oneself is to know the universe. So I think that is pretty much going to do it for today's video. If you have questions, let me know. I asked you guys a question yesterday. Let me see if I can ask another one today. I want to ask, how did you find out about the gateway experience? Are you practicing the gateway experience? What are your goals? What are you focused on? Let me know down below. Thank you for tuning in, and until next time, I will see you guys soon. Peace.